International Museum of the Horse curator Bill Cook takes us through the amazing exhibit, A Gift from the Desert. We're here at the International Museum of the Horse, and I'm speaking with Bill Cook, who is the director here. Bill, how long has the museum been here?
We opened in October of 1978, so we're moving into our fourth decade. This Gift from the Desert exhibit we thought was a real nice way to launch that.
Great. The current exhibit here at the museum is the exhibit called A Gift from the Desert, and we'll be going through and seeing that now with Bill. Bill, tell us a little bit about this piece here.
Well, this is a piece that I never expected to see in our galleries. This is the standard of art, and it's the earliest depiction known anywhere of humans driving equids. It's about 2,600 years old. It came out of the Royal Cemetery at which is now a rock, and is really an iconic artifact. And as you come around to the backside here, it's the aftermath of the battle, and peace reigns again, and you can see the tributes being brought into the King.
Bill, this is a beautiful piece here of a small horse. What is that, and what's the age of it, and what was it used for?
Well, it's from the mid-13th century BC. It's an Egyptian piece. It's thought to have been a whip handle, but it's so delicate that the people at the Met, who this is on loan from, really have started to question that a little bit. It's the first three-dimensional depiction of an Egyptian horse that really looks a lot like a modern Arabian. And it's a horse that very much would stand as an Arabian even today.
Great, it's a beautifully and well-preserved piece.
Yeah, it is. One of my favorites.
Bill, this is a beautiful exhibit of a Bedouin camp here. I know when we think of the Bedouins, nowadays we see them with a lot of camels, but I know the horse was significant to them as well. Can you tell us a little bit about this exhibit and the Bedouins and their role in the Arabian horse?
The horse was tremendously significant to the Bedouins, and actually had a much easier life than the camels. The camels had to do all the hard work, and the horses were really reserved for raiding and war. And a Bedouin's wealth really was measured by the number and the quality of horses that they had. It was very much survival of the fittest, those horses that adapted to that harsh climate, and often very, very scarce food supplies, resulted really in a lot of physical characteristics with the Arabian that very much prove form follows function.
Bill, this is a beautiful piece. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
Actually, it's a side piece off an Ottoman Empire saddle. I mean, the Ottoman Empire was the longest empire really ever to reign in the Middle East. So the thing I think that we look at most with the Ottomans is the fact that they brought so many Arabian horses into Eastern Europe, up through Bosnia and what was Yugoslavia, all the way to Vienna. And that really was the impetus that started the first purebred breeding programs in Europe, primarily in Poland, Hungary, and Russia, and then it spreads into Germany. So it really came from east to west, much more so than it did from the west to the east.
Bill, this is an amazing looking robe. I know it's Lawrence of Arabia. Tell us a little bit about this robe and the history of it.
Well, the robe and the sandals and a lot of objects in the adjacent case were what Lawrence wore as Lawrence of Arabia when he made his famous trip across the desert during World War I.
I see it has the head cloth and the robe as well as the sandals, as you mentioned, yeah, and in quite good condition.
Well, T. Lawrence was somewhat noted for going native while he was in the Near East, and was very sympathetic toward the Arabs' cause. Thought the partition that was being planned after the war made no sense at all, which is certainly proven true. So and being a real fan of the movie, I was real glad that we could pick this up and include it in the show.
I see that you have a photo, actually, or a portrait of Lawrence of Arabia here. Do you see any resemblance? Bill, Thank you for taking us on a tour of this beautiful exhibit. When you're here for the World Equestrian Games or anytime you come to visit Lexington, Kentucky, be sure to come by the horse park and visit the museum.